Surprise! Aha! Bet none of you saw this one coming, did you? Hey guys, the Black Critic Guy, and welcome to a very impromptu live reaction. I thought of this yesterday while I was on a live chat talking about the Defenders, and I realized, hey, wait a minute. Oh shit, hold up. Damn it, I forgot to mute myself. Okay, because the video started playing and it was distracting me in my headset. Anyway, so I just thought of this yesterday when I was on a live chat with some friends talking about the Defenders, and I was saying to myself, Death Note comes out this Friday, and it comes out at 5 p.m. Guam time for me, which would be 3 a.m. Eastern Standard Time in the States, because that's when they release all their new series and films. So I get to see it bright and early while you all are still sleeping. Well, there's 38 of you, so I guess it's not bright and early. I'm not even kidding. I'm surprised that there's 38 people watching this right now. I thought this would come as a complete surprise, but apparently not. I guess we all were on the same wavelength. Like, Tony's gonna do this, isn't he? But so yeah, the title's pretty straightforward. Death Note comes out, and I'm planning on watching and reacting to it. And that's it. Oh, it just got released. What do you know? See, I was right on time. But before we watch it, I'll just open it up real quick. How many of you have Netflix? I'm just curious, so I know who's going to be watching along with me. So type in the comments if you have Netflix or not. And then also, I guess another thing is I'm going to wait 15 minutes, like I usually do. Whenever I do these live reactions, I wait 15 minutes so that everybody gets comfortable, they have it all up, and then we can just watch and see whether or not it's good and stuff. So for the next 13 minutes, I'll be answering any questions you guys have, or if you would like to tell me what your expectations are before going into Death Note, or if you want to know what my expectations are before going in, do ask me in the comments. This is, after all, a live reaction, so I would like to engage the audience here. I might not be able to read the comments as often in this video because I want to focus intensely on watching Death Note, because I think I can speak for myself when I say that a lot of us were waiting for this day, whether it was for, in a good way or a bad way. Why don't you show it on stream? Because, Chosen One, if I showed it on my stream, it would be taken down, and also I don't want to do that. I'm trying not to do that anymore. Anyway, like I was saying earlier, we all have been kind of waiting for this day to come. Whether that's a good thing or a bad thing, it's left up to the person about to watch it. I personally am okay with the idea of them doing an American remake of Death Note, because I personally feel like it's a remake done right. It's not in Japan, it's in Seattle. The main character is white, but his name is not Light Yagami, his name is Light Turner. They changed him altogether. You could make an argument for L, because L was white in the original and they made him black. Why doesn't really matter, or I guess you never really know. But I think a lot of us are starting to feel like if the person is right for the role, like if Lakeith Stanfield did a phenomenal job, and he's a great actor, so I don't even doubt that he did a phenomenal performance, like when he was trying out for the role. So I'm excited to see his portrayal of portrayal of L. Will it be as good as the original? I doubt it, but it could be entertaining. It could be worthwhile. When I first saw the trailer to Death Note, it looked interesting. There was a lot to dissect there. The second trailer didn't impress me as much because I thought Light was kind of like a bitch, and he wasn't the methodical, egomaniacal genius that he was in the original series. But again, this is kind of a remake. It's a adaptation from the manga and anime series, and I'm starting to realize that when something is adapted, there will be some changes to it. I know a lot of us want something to remain as faithful as possible, and if the creators can remain as faithful as possible, that's great. That's phenomenal. But sometimes you might want to make some changes on a creative level that you feel like would be a much better take on the character or a much better direction. But as long as you keep the original soul of the source material that you're adapting, if you have a clear understanding of what the thing that you're adapting is, then I'm okay with you doing a few changes here and there. Unlike some other adaptations and remakes. Ghost in the Shell. But yeah, I am looking forward to this. I'm hoping it's good. And yeah. So 10 more minutes and then we'll get started. So if you guys have any questions, let me know. But why even call them Light, L, and Ryuk? They are not alike. Well, if you were to change their name entirely, it wouldn't be this. It's a very tricky gray area with that, because if you change the names entirely, it wouldn't feel like the same type of characters. Even though you are adapting something new, you gotta remain faithful to those characters. And since Light, L, and Ryuk are the most iconic characters in Death Note, when you think Death Note, you don't think, oh, Luke. That guy's name is Luke. No, you think Light, L, and Ryuk. I mean, all the other names are at this point not even that important. Like, no one's gonna get all up in arms because the girl's name is not Misa. I didn't even care about Misa. I thought she was terrible. But yeah, it is tricky. It is tricky why they would keep the original names. But I personally don't see a problem with it. I think my problem lies if their name was distinctly from a different culture. Like if his name happened to be Satoshi, and then this white guy's name is also Satoshi, then I'd probably be like, well, okay, then why not make him Asian? His name is Satoshi. How many white guys do you know his name's Satoshi? And I know some of you might look up some names right now and say, hey, here's a guy named Satoshi. That's the exception, not the rule. But Light is such an ambiguous name, and it could fit with honestly anybody. Anyone can be named Light. You could be Japanese, you could be black, you could be Filipino, you could be Asian. It's a universal name, just like Light is a universal name. As for Ryuk, that one I think they would have difficulty changing that. Again, it's really iconic. I'm a big fan of your anime reviews. Oh, thank you. I need to get back to those. I haven't done an anime review in 2 weeks. Apologies. I'm trying to get back on the horse. Holy fuck, today is the best day ever. Uzi dropped an X. Uzi dropped an X. I don't get it. Let's see. Are you watching on a TV or computer? I am watching on my laptop, so that's what I'm watching on. Will be able to hear the movie? No, you won't be able to hear the movie because I have my mic plugged in. And because my mic is plugged in, it blocks the audio from coming out, which makes it easier because then it won't get it won't distort my audio. So, are you pessimistic about the live action movie? I've heard a lot of people be pessimistic about it, and I think will be good. I think the pessimism comes from the fear of reliving the same type of thing. The pessimism comes from been there, done that, and everyone expecting it to be shit, considering considering all the previous attempts to adapt a well-known popular anime series, manga series. The pessimism is understood, especially this year of all years, after the debacle that was Ghost in the Shell 2017, which to this day, I don't understand why I got so much hate for that shit. That movie was awful. And anyone defending it is out of their fucking mind. Sorry, that's just the way I feel, man. Especially, you can't defend it by saying that it was trying to be its own thing when it copied the original. Their main character's name is still Motoko. I mean, at that point, you lose the argument. If she was just the major and they tried to tell their own story, fine. That's okay. With some hints of the original, perfect. But that was trying to replicate the original without trying anything new. This new one, while it is still telling the original story, it is taking a different direction. Light is not, at this point, from what I've seen from the trailers, he's not the methodical, egomaniacal genius. Or maybe he is, but the way that they approach his genius is different. L seems a bit more reserved than usual. He even wears a mask, which is different. It's different, and it's in line with the character. As long as you understand the source material and the soul, the nature of what you are, what you're adapting, I don't have a problem. The people who did Ghost in the Shell, Dragon Ball Evolution, The Last Airbender, and all the other tryhards that try to make Hollywood American movies of anime classics, they all never understood it. It was a cash grab, and it backfired in their fucking faces. Let's see. It's times like this that I'm glad I tend to like romance anime that isn't really mainstream. High five, anime lord. High five. They'll never touch our favorite anime. You'll never see a live action Baka and Test or School Rumble. Yeah, when it's 12:08 and you need to wake up at 5, but you see BCG's live stream notification, you don't have to stay up. If you're awake right now and stuff, that's totally fine. Why you ignore my question? What question, Tyrannic? I'm reading a bunch of statements, Tyrannic. What is it? The Voltron one that you keep asking me? I keep telling you, Tyrannic, if you keep spamming me, I'm not going to answer your question. Plain and simple. So stop spamming me. But to answer your question, I hope to watch it. I heard it's only 8 episodes, so excited to see it. 1 to 10, how was the movie? I haven't seen it yet. I'll be seeing it in 3 minutes. And at the end of this video, or at the end of this live reaction, I will give you my initial thoughts, and then I will be doing a review of it, hopefully by tomorrow. I'll have it out by today. The only anime I think would work as a live-action film is Black Lagoon if they make Quentin Tarantino do it. I doubt it. I don't see him adapting somebody else's material anymore. He did it once, and that was it. So I usually see behind your wall the poster of Is This a Zombie from what anime is that in the poster you have behind? Well, actually, that poster you see is that's, oh fuck, why am I blanking out on her name? Yuki Nagato from The Melancholy of Haru Suzumiya. She actually was one of the first wall scrolls I ever bought, so she holds a very dear place in my heart. I'm in a lecture right now. Why are you watching this video? You're supposed to be paying attention to the lecture. How's Guam? Guam's nice. It's been raining a lot lately, so that kind of sucked. But yeah, it's nice. Thoughts on Dragon Ball Super? Man, I really wish I kept up with it because I heard it's been getting better. I'm freaking angry I didn't keep up with it. I bet the meme count for this movie is going to be full of weeaboo cringe and diehard haters who have never even seen Death Note. We'll have to wait and see. If you're a true fan of Death Note, a live-action remake should never change your feelings of the original source material. I'll still love Death Note, even if the movie I'm about to watch sucks. In fact, if it sucks, it's going to make me appreciate the original even more for how good it was. I got school, BCG. Come with me? Fuck no, I'm done with school. I ain't going back to that bitch. When's Valkyrie Drive Mermaid Part 3? I'm not doing that. The direction I decided to take with the cringe theater is I'm just gonna watch the first 4 episodes and then do a review later in the week. That way, I don't give away everything. And also, I noticed that there's always a decrease in viewership when I do these reaction videos. The more I go on with them, and I don't want to waste all that time when I could be spending it writing a solid review for what I'm about to critique or what I'm watching. Basically, I like reviews much better than the live reacts, but the live reacts do so well, and I do find them kind of entertaining to do and edit. So what anime are you reviewing soon? Well, if I could get it done, because it's really hard for me to sit through it. I'm trying to finish Handshakers, and that is proving to be a tougher ordeal than I expected. God, that anime is just terrible. But hopefully I'll get that done soon. So it's 5:14. I'm going to go turn off my air conditioning so that there's not much background noise and you guys can hear me. Hold on for a second. Okay, that's done. All right, 5:15. Okay, everybody who has Netflix, are you guys on your Netflix? Let's get started here. All right. I'm just hoping it's good. I don't know much about Adam Wingard. All I know is that he did the movie. Fuck, what was that one movie with the guys who intrude? Your Next. He did Your Next, and he also did Blair Witch. Horror movies, basically. This is kind of like a horror-esque type show. So hopefully his adaptation would be good. All right, is everybody ready? Tell me if you guys are ready so I can get started. Wow, I thought I was late. Nope, you came just in time. We're about to start watching. I bet it will be awful. Go in with low expectations. I'm being hopefully optimistic, so we'll have to wait and see. This light is a pussy. If you say so, Rise. All right, seems like you're all ready, okay? No, we're not watching the trailer. We're watching the movie. The movie is out on Netflix right now. So, all right, guys, I'm going to do the countdown and we're going to get started here. Ready? And we're going to start in 3, 2, 1. Hit play. Full screen this bitch. Please be good. Please be good. Oh, please be good. Please be good. Oh, don't let me down. I've been let down once this year already. Don't let me down again. Gee, I wonder what city this is. Okay. It's montaging for some reason. You know, I do have one question, though. This takes place in Seattle, which has a huge Asian population. So I think an argument for having an Asian main character wouldn't be too outrageous. Again, if this is Seattle, that is a hugely Asian population. So, oh, so he is a genius. Okay, so he is a genius. Light is a genius, and he basically helps people with their homework and quizzes and stuff. Okay, that's actually I like that. That's interesting. He's using his intelligence as a way of he uses his intelligence as a way to prosper on a financial level. Okay, that's an interesting take. Okay, why is this girl smoking during cheerleading practice? Like, no one does that. Like, I get it. She's like above it all. She's kind of like this, oh, yeah, I don't give no fucks kind of girl. But, okay, we get it. You don't have to make it so fucking obvious, too. It's kind of a weird way of start. I'm not even going to kid. That was kind of a weird way to start this off. It sets up the fact that Light is kind of smart, at least, but the whole like cheerleader thing just seems kind of weird. It should have been better. Like it should have started when the notebook falls, and then it says like Death Note instead of Death Note, and then the notebook falls. That again, that's kind of a nitpick, so I won't hold it against the film. I like the fact that this Death Note is very worn out, like it's been used before, and this is maybe Light might not be the first person to use this Death Note. Maybe it's someone else already used it, which I think would be a great idea. Oh, great bullies! That's so original movie where we're fucking bullies. Uh, okay. Damn, he got knocked the fuck out. Oh, he's busted. Wow, really? They're gonna defend the bully, yet this guy's gonna be in trouble because he's helping a bunch of students with their homework. Wow. But you know what? I must say, this is actually kind of brilliant of the storytellers right here. It's people neglecting justice, which helps to mold the character's motivation later on because he realizes that people just bypass the system. So now that he has the notebook, people cannot bypass the system anymore. That is some great. Wow, I'm already impressed. That's some good buildup. That's that's really impressive, movie. Really impressive. Oh, of course she's with some fucking jock guy. And Light just has to be the loser of the school. What is up with what's the American fascination with having the loser be the main character in like high school stories? Why can't it be like someone cool? You know, the one thing I liked about Light in the original film or in the original series is that he wasn't much of a loser, but he was, I guess, respected at school to a certain degree. He was a loner, he kept to himself, but people liked him in a sense, you know? I don't know. The American fascination with making the main character a loser just is so weird. I really hope that he doesn't write the. Oh, it has been used before. Yes, yes, that is genius. Yes, it's been used before. That's why it's so worn out. That's fantastic. Guys, I'm so impressed by this film, and we're only like how many minutes in? Shit, stop. We're only like 6 minutes into this film, and I'm already impressed by the choices that the creative team has made. Although I will say this, I am kind of freaked out that they introduced Ryuk so soon. I was hoping that he would write a name down first, then Ryuk shows up. So it's weird to see him here. You're such a bitch, man. It's so weird seeing Light acting like a pussy, dude. It's so fucking weird. I always imagine Light as such the chill, calm, the chill, calm kind of main character who's always composed. I do. I am a little irked that he ate the apple. Light was the reason why he even liked apples in the first place. Again, it's a nitpick. I'm sorry I keep nitpicking. It's not a problem. It just. By the way, Willem Dafoe, perfect casting to voice Ryuk. Perfect casting. Oh, Willem Dafoe's so perfect. He's so perfect for this, man. If I were to have like a dream casting for characters in Death Note, Willem Dafoe definitely would be like number one for Ryuk. After him would be like hmm, I forget. I don't know who I would pick. Okay, so here's another kind of weird creative choice I'm not too fond of is that Ryuk is trying to persuade Light to write in the notebook. Like the one thing that I loved about Light is that his curiosity is what made him write in the notebook. And then when Ryuk showed up, he was impressed by what Light did. This one is like Ryuk is like, hey, here you go. Here you go. Write the name down. But I guess this is a much more different Light, one that's not very. He doesn't take the initiative, I guess, is what I'm trying to say. He doesn't have much confidence. That's the word I'm thinking of. He doesn't have much confidence. It's almost like Light is Ryuk's what's it called, student, and he's just like giving him advice of what to do. He's like his lackey. But you know what's interesting? I think I know why he's guiding Light like this, because remember that notebook has been used before. So that means what's it called? Oh shit. Oh damn. Oh man. Damn. They were damn. Damn. It's fucking crazy. Now, as I was saying earlier, I like the idea, or I both like and don't like the idea of Ryuk mentoring Light on how to use the Death Note. I don't like it because I feel like Light is a character that takes his own initiative, but this is a different Light, not one that's not as confident as the original. And I like it because again, this notebook has been used before, and so he kind of knows what he has to do in order to make sure that he finds someone who can effectively use the Death Note. So I think that's fascinating. Oh, that's kind of weird. So he just lives with a father. He doesn't have a mother or something. Or I guess let me guess. This is an American adaptation. So the dad is divorced because he's always working all the time, and he got Light in the in the divorce proceedings. You look at some of the comments real quick. No spoilers, please. I mean, I'm sorry. I'm watching this in real time, so you're gonna probably hear spoilers. If you don't want to hear spoilers, don't watch this. From here on out, don't watch this. So far, so good for me. What about you, Tony? Yeah, it's so far I'm actually liking it. It's it's remaining faithful to the original, while still being its own thing, which is what a good remake, a good adaptation should be. Oh, I missed something. So his mother was killed. So his mother was killed. But see, again, I'm loving this setup right here. This is really setting up the character's motivation and why he decides to take on the Death Note and become Kira, because he realizes how unjust the justice system is. How these criminals are just getting away with everything. So now this is what motivates the character to take the law into his own hands. Great setup. With Light Yagami in the original, there wasn't really much purpose for him to take on the system. He lived a pretty normal life, you know. But here, you give the character more motivation. I like the fact that they gave the character a little bit more motivation why he took on the Death Note. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Misdirection. There's nothing in there. Damn it. Okay. That actually kind of got me. Okay, can we all agree, those watching right now, that the CGI Ryuk in this one is 10 times better than the one in the live action, the Japanese live action one, which looked fake as shit. Okay, that's a bit different. But again, I love the fact that this notebook has been passed around and stuff. That's great. I wonder if his dad's still in, like, is he still the police commissioner and stuff? Oh yeah, his dad's a cop. Okay, so he is probably the police commissioner. Again, see, I love this. I love this. I love this. I'm not. By the way, I'm not a fan of this slow motion thing. It's just, it's a stylistic choice that I'm just not a fan of at all. Damn, dude. That is gory as shit. This film is really pushing the envelope for how bloody it can be, man. And you know what? I'm okay with that. You know, the original series was pretty gory too, so hey, like, I'm going to work. You know that piece of shit that killed your wife, your mom? He's dead. Well, no shit. He killed your wife. Of course you'd be happy. I wouldn't pity him. And this positive reinforcement for what Light just did right now is another key motivator to make him keep doing what he's doing, because he sees that killing this guy made his father happy, and he's probably going to think to himself now, what if I can make other people happy through what I do? You know, what if I can save the world? You know, see? Ah, again, this movie is doing a phenomenal job of keeping the spirit of the original alive, really understanding it, and then molding it into its own narrative. Good job. Just don't falter now. You're doing a good job so far, movie. Don't let me down. So far, the only thing I'm not liking about this movie is this bitch right here. Like, I don't like her. She's a fucking tryhard. She's smoking during cheer practice and she just doesn't give a fuck. She seems like, oh, I'm the rebel type, you know, because I don't, you know, I really don't care about school and whatever. Man, get the fuck out of here. It's, you know, it's funny. She is actually the antithesis to Misa Amani, who is very bubbly and cheerful, you know, kind of like this very fake poppy blonde chick. This girl is like very bleak, black haired, nihilistic, very cynical. I don't know if that was the creator's choice, and her name is Mia. I get it, Mia, Misa. Anyway, so I wonder if that was the creator's choice. Like, hey, you know how Misa was very bubbly and poppy? Let's do the complete opposite of that. And then this character came, and right now I just don't really care about her. So I also don't like the fact that like Mia is a part of this right from the get go. I would have rather she showed up like much later. So oh, that's different. Only the keeper of the notebook can see. I thought whoever touches the notebook can see that. That's kind of weird. That's different. That's it's a weird change. It's a weird change. I don't know how to feel about it, but I guess I'm okay with it for now. But it is kind of a weird change. I guess it'd be so weird to have another character see Ryuk so soon. That's why. What the fuck? Live crimes? Is that a real thing? If I type in live crimes on like the internet, it'll have like live crimes and stuff. Oof. Damn. They are really they're going all out for that gore factor, man. Ain't I cool? So he just said I killed him to the girl. It's like I killed him. You want to suck my dick? So I guess they're I guess with this they're gonna do a whole like kind of Bonnie and Clyde style with these two characters, where now they're what's the word I'm trying to think of? They're criminals. They're I'll shut up now. No, I think you're edgy. I bet you she's the one that's fucking crazy. She's like, I can think of a whole lot of things we could do with this book. Accomplices. That's the word I was thinking of. Accomplices. So now they're like a team instead of Light being by himself. It's another change I don't know if I'm truly for. I did like the fact that Light didn't trust anybody. That helped in his methodical nature. But again, it's a different take. So let me see how it works out in this movie and whether or not it's necessary. Although it is kind of weird for them to like jump into like we like each other now. That's kind of strange. You fucking I, oh I just I don't I just don't like this. I don't like a weak Light like a pussy Light. I don't know what I don't like it. I don't see Light that way. The fact that he had to ask her if he could kiss her. Like I feel like now that he has the notebook, he has all this power. He should be going through this metamorphosis where his confidence is building. So he should have just like went straight at it though. So it's kind of weird that yeah, I'm just gonna be straightforward with you guys. I don't like this relationship. I feel like it's kind of forced. What bullshit? Someone looked that up. Apparently, they just said that Kira means light, or means light in like Russian and Celtic. And then okay, they bring up the Japanese thing, Kira. Yeah, I don't like the relationship, guys. I'm sorry. I don't like the girl. I don't like how they just started so quickly with their relationship. Like it's just like out of the blue. Just now they like each other. Like, it's just so weird. There's no build up to it. Justice of Kira. Oh shit, guys! It's L. It's L. Hello. I love it. Let's see how Lakeith Stanfield's gonna do as L now. Lakeith. Speaking that Japanese. Ooh. And he did it so well too. I'm impressed. If you can't already tell, I love Lakeith Stanfield. I think he's a great actor. He's one of the best like rising new talents in Hollywood right now. And I'm so happy he's getting so much work because he definitely deserves it. And he's eating gummy worms. Okay, so they got the sweet tooth down. So first, like the first two major criticisms I have with this movie is I don't like the girl, and the fact that they rushed that relationship. And I do feel like the pacing of the first 30 minutes was like really fast. Now I understand why it's really fast because again they're condensing 37 episodes from the original anime series and about what was it 15 volumes of manga into one movie. So there's a lot of things that they have to like reveal and shoot out in just an hour and 45 minutes. And so far they're doing fine, but the pacing in the first 30 minutes is a bit rushed. The whole love for Kira and all that stuff. You know, people didn't start loving Kira in the original anime until like episode 5. There was more of a fascination of why he was doing it. And then more people started jumping on him saying that he was this savior of the world. To have them all saying it right now is kind of weird. And it would have been nice. It would have been nice too if it would have been nice if shit. What's the word I'm thinking of? It would have been nice if we actually had some people being interviewed who were like affected by these crimes and stuff, saying, "Oh, Kira saved me." You know, if it wasn't for Kira watching over us, then I would be dead right now. You look like a douchebag dad. All right, I'm gonna go look at the comments again. Let's see. And just gets progressively worse. I'm trying to watch it, but the audio and the video don't sync around 10 minutes. Oh. Wait, are you talking about me or are you talking about the movie? Is that guy English and Asian at the same time? Oh, okay. His name is Watari and he is Asian. Okay, that's cool. That is a fascinating thing. See, I like the fact that they're showing that whole dichotomy of people not knowing how to feel about Kira. Right now. Duh. Why wouldn't he want to speak right now? Tony, you're missing dialogue. I know, I know. I'm getting back to it. I'm watching. I'm watching. Oh, that's actually fascinating. So they use the name as a misdirection. That's fascinating. See, that's a great way of like tying the name back, or not tying the name back, but making the name both a reference and a way that serves the story. So hey, pretty good movie. All right, so I have the comments posted up over here. So here, let me just show you real quick. I got the movie playing, and I got my comments so that I can read you guys' comments now. Let me just fix this real quick. That should be good. This, oh, dude, don't let the pussy dictate how you should use the notebook. Come on, man. Have some balls. Say no, we're not doing it until I'm absolutely sure. God, come on, like have some dignity, man. Yeah, Light being a wuss is just so weird. I it's gonna take a while for me to get used to it, man. It's just so weird. But I didn't get to see how he's sitting. Is he sitting? Yep, he's sitting with his he's sitting crouching, so okay, so one thing I don't like too is how well, I guess he do that in the original series where he's like, I kind of watered down to Japan, to this area of Japan. I forget if he did it like that because I thought it was the whole thing was he was trying to reveal where he is, and then he later made a big display of it on news. Like, I know that he's in this place, and he did it in a very spectacular fashion, almost like political theater. So the fact that he just reveals it to Officer Turner over there, like, "Hey, I just discovered he was in Seattle because he found the, local crime and stuff." It's kind of weird. Oh, another thing too. Again, I know this is a nitpick, and I think the reason I have a complaint about this is because I love so much that I love the original so much, but the fact that L is just walking around in public, I don't think L would ever do that. He would never hold like a press conference. He would like hijack the news station and just have the big L showing, and he'd be narrating and even hiding his own voice, distorting it. So for him to like hold this like press conference, like, "I know where light is," or "I know who Cure is," I'm like, it's kind of weird. Well, something crashed behind me. Walter's like, maybe. So far, like the issues I seem to be pointing out about this movie is in comparison to the original. And I hate that I'm doing that because it's so unfair to this movie and what it's trying to do. But at the same time, I just can't help but be bothered by it. Like the changes are so weird to me. I feel like L would be much more careful. The fact that he does hold a press conference in the middle, in public, and all that stuff, like it just seems so reckless. What if someone just walked up and shot him? Like, "I'm Kira, boom!" You know, it's just so weird. Watari. You mean Watari? What about Light slowly becoming a complete insufferable dick in the original? Well, see, but that's the power going over his head. That's his decline into villainy. And you see that process slowly happening, and it's so transfixing because the character is so compelling. Here, Light's just L called him a coward, and in this regard, he's right. Light is a coward in this movie. He's very cowardly. So I'm gonna have to watch this again without doing it as a live chat. But so far, it was off to a good start. Right now, I'm kind of iffy about it. Again, I don't like the fact that they're a team. Yeah, he's a kid that looks like he's fucking 20 years old. Remember this Ferris wheel, guys, because it's gonna be in the climax of the film. Wow, dude. Fucking snippy, dude. Oh, she took the notebook, guys. She took the notebook. That's why. She took the notebook, guys. Duh, come on. Like, come on, you're not that stupid. Yeah, definitely the light in this movie is not as charismatic or as interesting enough. He's not as likable as the original light. He's not as interesting, I guess, is what I should be saying. He's not as interesting as the original light. He's too much of a bitch and a pussy. You tell him, L. Agent Franks, you there? Hello? Is it me you're looking for? I don't think Ray Pember is going to be in this movie. I'm sorry. Because again, that the Ray Pember, the whole Ray Pember arc shows how smart and methodical Light is as a character. In this movie, Light's not a methodical genius. He doesn't like think two steps ahead. It's not a chess game. Um oh man. I'm starting to She's the one that killed them. Come on, dude. Are you really that oblivious? He doesn't even think for a second. What do you think? No. Wait a minute. Ryuk actually did kill them? Hmm. See, that's kind of weird too. You can't kill a Shinigami with his own death note. See, I don't like Ryuk getting involved. That's another problem I have. Like Ryuk is supposed to be a third party. He's not involved in the killings. The only reason he gave the death note to Light was because he was bored. So so I mean, I'm a little frustrated by that. I'm so, I'm sorry. I don't like the fact that Ryuk killed those guys. Ryuk is a third party. He's just there because he's bored and he wants to have some entertainment, and Light gives him that entertainment. Fucking hell. See, here's the thing. when you try to make Light a sympathetic character, you do the opposite. The movie's trying so desperately to make Light such a great character, and they're not making him go down that dark path, which is taking away the interesting aspect of Light. He was a good person led astray. This guy is like a good person. He's a weak person that's trying to do the right thing, but keeps getting blocked and caught and all that stuff, and is acting like a fucking pussy. He doesn't have the will to hold the notebook, in my opinion. That's what's starting to frustrate me about this Light. This Light is he's not the type of character that should have the notebook. And the movie's not feeling like this really brilliant chess game between Light and L. That's what made the original so compelling, is that it was a chess game. Who's going to get the upper hand? Is it going to be Light? Is it going to be L? Is it going to be Light? Is it going to be L? So, fuck, I don't like him being a pussy, guys. The movie's starting to show some cracks in the story. Oh, it started off so well, though. Why? See, I think this is one of the main reasons why you should never adapt a TV series into almost 2 hour film, because you miss all the essential things that you need to make the story work, to make the series compelling, to flesh out all these characters. You can't do it in an hour and 40 minutes, especially if you don't focus on them properly. This Light, as much as he's a nice guy and he's trying to do the right thing, is not an interesting or compelling character at this very moment, at this current time. He's just such a pussy. Oh man. No, Light and Misa aren't reversed in this movie, because Misa is stupid. She wants to kill them all without having a backup plan at all. She's not methodical. She's just maniacal. Oh wow. Wow, really, movie? So remember how I said earlier how the original series was like a chess game, right? About who would get the checkmate first. Fucking L just spelled it out in this movie. He's just like, "Oh, I don't do the check. I only do checkmate." I'm like, "Fuck, dude. Don't spell it out for the audience. We're not fucking stupid. If you write it well, we'll get that this is supposed to be a chess game." And again, the fact that he just reveals himself is another stupid move. L would never do this. You know what? If Light really wanted to, he could just take off that mask right now, see his face, and then look it up somewhere. Oh my god, he just revealed his face. See, L makes a good point, but the point is so poorly executed that it doesn't have much weight to it. And again, I don't like the fact that L just walks up to Light in this movie and is like, "You're Kira, aren't you?" Like it was supposed to, like, he was supposed to mislead him. It was the whole thing. Like to have him just say, "Yeah, you're Light, you're Kira." Like, fuck, dude. You weren't ready to leave him. You guys have barely formed any sort of. Oh, you love him too? Whoa! I didn't know you guys were that close. I mean, did we even see any moments of them like really bonding and getting to know each other? You know, the whole thing about Misa Amani's character was that she was manipulated by Light. That was her role in his plan. He was a manipulator. And then now all of a sudden now he just wants to kill L because L was just like, it ends in one way, you dying or me dying. Underlined. And by the way, Watani is his last name. Yeah, Cube MP. And it started off so promising. Does Watani have tattoos? Another thing is that L doesn't even feel like this very masterful detective. Like he's supposed to be the greatest detective in the world, and it doesn't feel like he's the greatest detective in the world. Yeah, sure, he figured out that Kira was in Seattle and that Light was Kira. That's fine, but the buildup to all of that is like the buildup to all of that is not even displayed. The beauty of what the show and the comic did was that it showed in the visual form how smart and how what's the word I'm thinking of? It's something that detectives do. It basically showed just how smart L was and how he was such a masterful detective. How he used deductive reasoning to find out where Light was in Japan. He showed it to the world, like, oh, that was actually only shown in this part of Japan. So now I know where you are. I know where you are, Kira. I'm coming for you, you know? Actually, Light, you stay. Fuck me. It okay. Another thing. L would never, ever act so frantically. He would never lose his composure. He's just like Light. The beauty of L and Light is that they mirror each other. They both will not be phased by the actions of somebody else. It just, I guess you could almost make the you could make the argument that they do mirror each other in the sense because they're both really emotional. But I to see L lose his composure, that's not L. That is not L. Even in the context of this story, it just doesn't make sense for L to act so stupidly. L was always very careful. He walked delicately as if he was walking over eggshells. Why couldn't this film also explore that? Like, L would walk so carefully. Oh. Ooh. I didn't want to be ranting about this movie. I gave this movie a chance. I like that they gave Light some motivation. You know, cliche as it might be, it was good motivation. It made sense. I know, yeah, not my L, not my Light. It's just, but it is true though. These guys are pale comparisons to the original source material. They're pale comparisons to their original counterpart, and they're just not that captivating. Like, L in this movie just feels like a cliche cop that's the cliche overworking cop that's desperate to find his killer. Yeah, I agree, Anime Lord. As much as Misa really annoyed the shit out of me, she was way more entertaining. The girl that they replaced her with in this movie, she's just so blah, dude. And another thing, isn't this supposed to be a girl that's like the no give fucks attitude? Why all of a sudden was she acting so emotional and shit? That is literally a 180 of what the character was like at the beginning of this movie, and there was no build up to her change of heart, her change of character. What the fuck? It comes out of left field. All of a sudden, now she's like, I love you. I deeply care for you. We're going to make it out of this together. The Misa in the original was totally obsessed with Kira. She was in love with Light to the point where she actually stalked him to find out his true identity. She was obsessed with him. Just it was very akin to the Joker and Harley Quinn's relationship, almost to a T, because Harley Quinn is obsessed about the Joker, and the Joker only uses Harley Quinn for his own means, and he manipulates her constantly. In this one, it's almost like they're supposed to be on even footing, but they don't feel like they're on even footing at all. God, movie, how did you let me down so fast? You were doing so well. It's so weird. It's so weird to see L losing control and being frantic. Even in his death, he seemed so calm about it. Ah. The fuck? What the fuck? No, I'm still watching it, Bacon. I still got 32 minutes left in this movie. Oh, man. Angry black man in every movie? Really? The fuck, man? Haha, the page is gone. And they fucking wasted Watati. Fucking wasted Watati. Great. Fantastic. You wasted a great character. Wasted a great character. I don't like her at all, Ryuk. She's a terrible character. So that's funny. So she's the she's the manipulator in this story. Yeah, fucking right. Manipulator my ass. By the way, what fucking wait, was he supposed to die at 7 o'clock? I thought it was like at midnight. I guess it was 7, so no, you act stupidly. Well, yes, he is a pussy. He is a pussy. That is true. Get the fuck out of here, dude. So is Light a pussy in this movie? Yep, Light is a pussy in the movie. Okay, so I was right. It was the girl. It wasn't Ryuk. Okay, cool. What the fuck? What? What the fuck? So I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Yeah, this twist where Mia is the villain. Nope, I don't like it. I don't like it at all. And it was way too fucking obvious. The moment we see this character and her nihilistic, cynical behavior, of course she's gonna be like the one that is the one out of control. I guess that might be the reason why she that's the reason why what's it called? She fell for Light in the first place. Like she's like, yeah, you can help me with my power fantasy of killing people. Ooh. I would give the movie props for that, but I'm not gonna give it props for that because I don't like it. I think it's stupid that she manipulates Light. What the fuck? Oh no. And way to butcher the police investigation side of Death Note, which was equally as interesting as the chess game between Light and L. Oh, you hear the music, guys? It's supposed to be a rendition of the original music from Death Note. Remember? Oh, guys, the Ferris wheel is coming. Samuel Jackson should have been Light. Would have been a 10 out of 10. You know what? I might not even argue with that. This this whole climax is so boring. I just because I don't really feel the intensity of this climax. This is supposed to be like a tense moment because Light is like running for his life basically. And but the problem is that you don't care about Light. Light is a pussy. Light is a fucking coward, and he's just a terribly written character. He's not interesting. He's not charismatic. He's not sympathetic. Like, ironically, when they were trying to make him a sympathetic character, they made him even less sympathetic than the megalomaniacal version of Light. That Light was far more sympathetic because at least when he was doing what he was doing, he believed in it full-heartedly and didn't let anybody get in his way. This one is such a fucking coward to own up to the fact of what he's doing. And once like the heat is on, he crumbles. I thought we were gonna see like this whole progression where he becomes this master manipulator. He becomes a great, like character. And then this fucking L thing. Oh man. This is a fucking 80s. This is fucking a fucking 80s chase. Doesn't this feel like an 80s movie? Like fucking Light and L are not like what's the word I'm thinking of? Crime like action crime heroes, okay? There's no chase scene. The only chase that happens in Death Note is at the end, and it's already been said and done. Light is fucked. And I guess you can make a comparison to the original, where at this point there's a chase because he's fucked. God, it just feels like an 80s chase scene. It even has the 80s soundtrack with the heavy synthesizer. I think that was their approach. This movie would have been so good if it was in the 80s. But right now it's 2017, guys, okay? It's not good. You should have just shot him. Why did you just shoot him? That's not slowly. Oh, they're gonna fucking kill L. Thank you. Wow. That's just fucking great. What? 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 Why did that guy help Kira? What? Wait a minute. Now, if they set up in the movie that he had a legion of fans, then it would make sense why that guy attacked him. Like, that came out of the blue. Like, what if they had like a shirt or like a symbol, right? He lifts up his hand and like it has the Kira symbol, and he's just like, Lord Kira. Like in the original series, he had legions of fans, and they even made themselves known that they were fans. And this one, that guy just attacks him like Lord Kira, and then that's it. Get to the top now! He's so whiny bitch. Ah! Ah! Run away together. Write her fucking name. matters? You never formed a relationship to begin with, so who fucking cares? No, she doesn't. Push him! Push him! Push him. Yep. You're gonna burn the name. Yeah, he wrote her name. Yep. No shit. You know what? I never thought in a million years that Death Note would be turned into a fucking romance. What? Like, I never thought that Death Note would have a stupid romance in it, and that would be the main driving force of the story. I get that they were trying to do a whole Bonnie and Clyde thing, but it doesn't work at all. Like, I don't understand. It's like, oh, I feel so scared. Oh, I'm so worried about them. Aren't you guys so worried about them? They built these characters up so well. Like they're almost family to me. Seeing them in peril is so scary. Hey, don't you guys love that part in the original Death Note where Light and L were on top of this building and the building was blowing up in spectacular fashion? You know, huge spectacle action scene. Remember those great action moments in Death Note? That's what I loved about Death Note. You know, big climactic action scenes. You know, just freaking this romance killed this movie. It honestly kills this movie, guys. It kills this movie. It kills this movie. It's just like how Yoko Ono killed the Beatles. Oh no, he slipped, guys. No. Fuck those two. You look so silly, dude. He looks so silly. What? She lands in a bed of flowers? And he lands in the water. Oh, so they're still alive. Wonderful. 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 Just wonderful. And look, it's a beautiful death. Man, whatever. Whatever. There's no tension. There was no tension in that at all. And the how is it in a movie called Death Note? The climactic scene between two characters is not between L and Light. It's between Light and Mia. That's the. Oh, let me guess. Is that the one with Light's name in it? Oh, guess what, guys? He's saved. Well, not really, because he's going to go to jail now. How convenient, right? That the paper just happened to float down into a freaking fiery garbage can. Really? God, what did they do to you, L? What did they do to you, man? God, what did they do to you? What did they do to you? Let me guess. L's gonna die, right? L's gonna die in this plane crash. In this plane, the plane's gonna crash or something. I don't like L seeming so frantic. Oh, I have so much to say about this movie. It's not gonna be good. I'm so fucking disappointed right now. I am so fucking disappointed. Please make a video. Oh, don't worry. I'm going to make a video on this. I'm actually going to watch this movie again, beat by beat, and I'm going to be writing down all of the criticism I have. In fact, I'll tell you right now, I'm gonna do two. There's gonna be two parts to my review. There's one where I'm going to review the film on its own merits, like how it is as its own film, and then I'm going to also review it in the sense of how it is in comparison to the original and where it missed the mark. But how would he have known? Okay, this is bullshit. The reason I say that this is bullshit is because this is the type of L that, this is how Light was supposed to be. But it doesn't make sense that Light's gonna be acting like this now because there's no evidence at the beginning of this film to show that he is this methodical. Oh man. It's just it comes out of left field. Like this whole thing. Oh, so that's how it ends up in the fire. Sorry, I don't buy this whole like light is this. He can think this far ahead. I don't believe it. Oh, so you're gonna write Light's name down because he killed Watari? No, L would never. L would never do that. He would never succumb to his anger like that. He would never succumb to it. What? That's it? That's how it ends? Really? Really? That's how it ends? Mm. Oh, it was motion capture. Okay, that's pretty cool. That Ryuk is motion capture. That's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. It fucking ends playing Air Supply's The Power of Love. Seriously? Hold up, I'm gonna fast forward and see if there's anything at the end of the movie. I doubt there is, but let's just go ahead and see. Mm. Okay, so I just finished the movie. You let me down, guys. You let me down. I was defending you. I was rooting for you. You even started off very well. You know, yeah, Light is a pussy in this movie, but you set him up to give him motivation as to why he chose to take on the Death Note. And I like that. You know, people might complain that that was cliche, but I think it's a good motive. Like, it gives the character more purpose. It's good motivation. It was a good setup to why Light becomes Kira. The idea of being named Kira also was an ingenious idea as a way of misdirection. It worked with the story, but you just missed the mark entirely. You turned Death Note, a psychological horror-like thriller, into this fucking Bonnie and Clyde-esque romance. That's really at the soul of it all. One thing that should not be at the center of a movie based off of Death Note is a fucking romance. Light, if you're gonna make him a pussy, you're gonna try to make him likable and relatable, you need to actually build his character so that he is somebody the audience can root for. The problem is he has no development at all. He was a pussy at the beginning, he's a pussy at the end. You know, if you actually took the time to actually show him growing through this film, being methodical, thinking 2 steps ahead, maybe he does start off as a pussy, but he grows confident in his skills. He starts trying to find ways to maneuver and go around the system because he has a father that works in law enforcement. That would have made sense. It would have worked. But no, he was just a good guy. He's an upstanding citizen trying to do the right thing. He was just misguided was all. No, the original Light was a good guy led astray. And guess what? That story that came out 10 to 11 years ago was more willing to go down a darker path and make its character reprehensible because that's what happens. The power corrupted Light to the point where he became misguided of what he was trying to do in the first place. He became so power obsessed and keeping his power that he has become the very thing that he hated. Criminals that kill unjustly. In this one, the irony of you trying to make him be sympathetic works against the character because he's less of a character at this point. In fact, he's not even a character. He's a one-note blank page in the fucking Death Note. The twist with Mia is not a twist. From the moment you see this character, she is so unlikable. She is bitch to the nth degree. She is a total cunt. And I'm not afraid to call her a cunt because that's exactly what she is. She has no likable qualities to her whatsoever. So when you make this whole twist that she wrote the names, it's not a fucking twist. It's so obvious. It's as plain as day. Because you already started the character off as this cynic who hates everything and doesn't give a fuck. So of course she's going to do something reprehensible. Their romance is so forced and is unbelievable. The actors have no chemistry. You don't feel like they bonded. They just montage through that shit. Yeah, she's attracted to the appeal of the Death Note. That's why she's sticking around. I get that, movie. But why couldn't you have made that more clear? Why couldn't it be like at the end, she like turns to him and says, I never loved you at all. I just loved the Death Note. I just liked that thing. I was just fucking with you the whole time. That would make more sense to her character. And technically, yeah, she does kind of... No. I was gonna say like technically she does push him off, but she didn't. She just grabbed the notebook. Like, and he wrote that in the notebook itself. So she did have genuine feelings for him. Like, I just oh, I'll be out soon. That was my grandma. That's my grandma. My office is in my grandparents' house. So anyway, what was I saying? This romance is so tacked on, and it really didn't need to be. I get what the writers, the creators of this film were attempting to get at. They were trying to make them a modern day Bonnie and Clyde, you know, criminals in arms, basically, working together as accomplices, as cohorts. And if the movie was willing to kind of flesh it out a little bit more, I could have bought it. I honestly could have bought it. But you have to build their relationship. You know why Bonnie and Clyde the movie worked so well? Because the movie took the time to explore these characters, explore Bonnie's life and how boring and lackluster it was, how there was no exciting moments. When Clyde comes into town and he's this guy that robs banks and has this gun and holds people up, that's exciting. That is something out of the normal for her usual life. That makes sense why she would go and join him. In this movie, yeah, sure, he does those, like, you know, the whole like, you want to see my gun kind of thing in Bonnie and Clyde. You want to see my notebook? Watch what I can do with this notebook. And it entices her and all that stuff. But as the film goes on, they don't explore it any further. Elle. Oh God, Elle. What did you fucking do with Elle? What did you do to Elle? Elle is supposed to be one of the greatest, most gifted minds of his generation. A man that can solve any crime. He's the best detective in the world. He's the Sherlock Holmes of this world. Did that character look like Sherlock Holmes to you guys? No. Because even when Sherlock Holmes acts all chaotic, and it seems like he lost a step or he wasn't able to do something in time, it's later revealed that actually it was all part of his master plan, and he keeps his composure. In this film, I can't tell you how many times Elle just loses his composure and totally goes against the very character that Elle is. And him being overly emotional about Watari dying, I could buy it if they actually showed us a relationship between him and Watari. We have one scene with them together. And it's extremely brief. It's not enough to convince the audience that these two are close. These two walk hand in hand, you know, and the close relationship that they built with each other. In the original series, when Watari dies, Elle doesn't just like, oh my God, Watari's dead. Well, I guess he didn't really have a chance to do that because the moment Watari dies, then Elle dies, so he couldn't have much of a reaction. But the way that they handled it, even at the moment of death, Watari was able to still follow through and keep his composure and make sure that Elle was safe. Oh man, the story is not compelling. It's boring. You know, whereas the original was this very enticing and engaging chess game between Kira and law enforcement, Elle versus Light. In this film, it's what's the word I'm thinking of? It's Death Note Edgelord edition, because that's all the characters are. They're just a bunch of fucking edgelords. Are they not a bunch of edgelords? Please tell me how they're not a bunch of edgelords. Oh, look at me, I'm so cool, and I'm smoking in front of everybody. I don't give a fuck. Like, just go killing everybody. They're fucking edgelords. They think they're so awesome and cool. And this whole teeny BB bop, or not teeny bebop, but this teen angst, this whole teen dynamic. Yes, Light Yagami was in high school, but his teen angst never came through to what he was doing. He thought light years ahead of his contemporaries because he was one of the smartest minds in Japan. That whole bullshit at the end, by the way, where he had this whole master plan that he thought of just right there at the moment. It's such bullshit. It's a 180 of what the character was, and it makes no sense how he would have thought all that out. It comes out of nowhere. And what's even more painful is that type of behavior is exactly what the original Light was known for. So why didn't you show that in the rest of the film? How methodical he was, how he thought 10 steps ahead, and how he manipulated every situation. It doesn't make sense in the context of the story you're presenting now, in the context of the character that Light is in this movie, that he was that methodical, that he was able to think of all of that at the last second. It makes no sense. You spent more time kind of having Light bond with his father, and even have the father at the end realize that the first victim wasn't this what Brody was his name. It was actually the guy that killed his mother. That was interesting, and it would have been more impactful had this father-son relationship been more fleshed out. If you took away the romance and actually just focused on building this father-son bond and actually have Light trying to get closer to his father as a way to manipulate him too, that would make so much sense. It would have been great. L makes so many dumb decisions in this film, even in the context of the story here. He shows his face to Light. He tells Light that he knows that he's L, or that he's Kirta, which honestly, he wouldn't have done that. What he would have done was befriend Light, act like he was his friend, and then get the drop on him. How is it? I can't believe it. The Japanese version of the film, of the series, is way better than this one. It really is, because it was able to capture the essence of Light. Yes, it is a nearly shot-for-shot remake of the original anime, but at least they understood the source material. And they gave me the ending I always wanted to see, where it was L that got the upper hand, that he figured out that Light was Kira and was able to kill him. And then they even gave him such a beautiful death, like a death that was very worthy, a very heroic death, where he wrote his own name in the death note, as well as writing Light's name in the death note, so that Light couldn't get the upper hand. There was a better payoff. Here it ends where basically it's hinted that freaking L might write Light's name in the Death Note page, and then he would be what's the word I'm thinking of? He would be the very thing that he hated, which shows kind of some conflict with his character. Like, oh man. The music was done by Atticus Ross. You might not know that name, but he actually did the music for Social Network. And the music is fine. It just, I didn't really care much for it. And I don't know about you guys, but watching this film, it feels like it's in the wrong decade. It feels like it would be right at home in the 80s. It feels like a 80s style crime thriller in modern time. But the problem is that genre of film is dead. That style of film is gone. It doesn't fit well in this day and age. If you would have done a whole Breaking Bad style where the main character does start off really good, someone that's sympathetic, but slowly goes down the rabbit hole and becomes tarnished by the criminal life that he's living, that would have been the better story. It's not. That's not what they do. It's disappointing. Extremely. Ryuk looked cool. The problem I have with Ryuk is Ryuk was supposed to be like a funny character in the original series. He was a bit of a comic relief. And again, he was just there to watch over everything, you know? And in the sense he does do that, it does carry on here in the remake. He is more or less just a watcher, but the fact that he has to tell Light all the rules and everything just is kind of weird. And I just didn't like the fact that his character really doesn't do much. He eats apples and sits around and giggles. Where I feel like Ryuk was a bit more. He loved interacting with Light because he found Light so fucking interesting. Like that last line the last line of the film where Ryuk says, "You humans are so interesting." I'm like, how? Nobody's done an interesting thing in this movie. Everything is boring. Everyone's predictable. The reason Light was so interesting to Ryuk is because he didn't behave as he thought he would. And he was so impressed by how Light handled all the situations that he was in. It was impressive to him. There's nothing impressive about any of the characters in this film. Even Maya, the bitch edgelord. This film was disappointing. It was so disappointing. I'm so let down. I'm going to watch the film again so that when I do my review, I'll have a much more clearer idea of what I want to say. Oh my God, you're so stupid. You didn't get the ending. What? What? Please tell me what I didn't get. I would love this. I would love to know. He says, "You humans are so interesting," to make you think L killed Light. It doesn't matter if L killed Light. It really doesn't, because I could care less if L killed Light. Because that's not really L. That's just a guy that's pretending to be L. That's not really Light. That's a guy. It's the pussified version of Light. You know, don't get frustrated over another fuck up. I can't help but be frustrated because at this one I was actually rooting for because it looked like they understood. They understood the source material and were going to treat it with the respect it deserved. I think what was more insulting is what they did with L at the end of the movie, where they basically dishonor him, or they paint him as this disgraced detective, and he actually isn't that good. You know what? Fuck you, okay? L is the greatest detective mind in Death Note. And the fact that you would tarnish his name like that and make him this deranged, psychotic, overworking cop cliche, messed up. It's a spit in the character's face. It's so mean. Why would you treat like L like that? It's not. Anyway, I'll save the rest for when I make my review. It'll probably be out tomorrow. Okay, so do you guys have any questions for me? Don't blame the actors, blame the writer. I don't blame the actors. In my opinion, the actors did fine. I won't say they did impressively. The best performances, or I would say the less cringy performances, in my opinion, was Shia or say Shia. I don't know how to say his name. Shia Wiggum. I like him. I really think Wigham. It's Wingham, I think. I liked him. I've always liked him as an actor. I think he's fantastic. And then also Lakeith Stanfield, as much as he's a bastardization of what L is, he still tried his best to embody the character of L. You know, the whole fact that he's, you know, he always crouches when he sits. Instead of sitting normally, he would put his feet up and just sit like that. Or eating candy. Another thing I found weird is how come he didn't like do the puzzles like how L would. That's another little quirk about L, is that he eats sweets a lot and he's always playing these puzzle games. That wasn't in the movie. I guess they had to pick one or the other. Like, do we make him eat sweets or do we make him like playing puzzles? The point of the puzzles was not only to show his erratic nature, but also to show his his mentality and how he thinks. It was a visual display of how his mind works, because his mind is always constantly on the move, because he's always thinking many steps ahead. Life to him is a big puzzle that he's trying to solve. Let's see. What do you think about the rule changes to the Death Note? I really didn't care much for the rule changes. I did find it weird that they left out the fact that the person who owns the Death Note, when they die, they end up in a place of nothingness. But I guess they wanted to spare light from that, because Light is a good person. He was just led astray, guys. Don't hate Light. He's a good person. No. I'm sorry. But once you start killing people, you're no longer a good person. No matter what your justification is, you're a criminal. Now, I feel like, and I had an argument with somebody about this, with the whole mentality of and where Light was coming from. And in a strange way, I agree with Light. I actually rooted for him, because I did feel like he was doing the right thing, But it doesn't change the fact that he is the very thing that he's trying to fight against. He is a criminal. He's killing people left, right, and center. So he's a bad guy. When did L have a temper? L never had a temper. He was always calm and composed. But the only person that ever really lost his composure was Light. He lost it 3 times in the show. That's the only times I ever remember him lose. He lost his composure in episode 2 when L reveals that he knows where he is. He loses his composure in the middle of the series. I forget what happened. And then he lost his composure at the end of the series, where he was finally caught. That's the only time he ever loses composure. Most of the time he's smart. He's calm and methodical. He's always thinking ahead. It'd be an okay movie. It'd be an okay movie if it just wasn't called Death Note. I would agree with that. Do you think the ending was weird? I don't think it's weird. It is the ending is out of place, because it does this whole big reveal that Light actually planned all these things ahead of time to save him and all that stuff. But the thing is, it doesn't make sense in the context of the character, because the character was never that methodical. If Light was always that methodical since the beginning, then I'd be like, you know what? That makes sense that he would have wrote that down. But it doesn't, because he was never like that. It felt more like Final Destination to me. I would not disagree with that. It does have a very Final Destination feel to it, especially the over-the-top death scenes. I always liked L over Light in the anime. Correct. So why did they fuck up L so much in the movie? Exactly. Mia was the fucking worst. Yeah, were we supposed to just hate that character right off the bat, or we were supposed to be sympathetic to her? Because I don't get what direction they were trying to take that character. My guess is they changed Mia because, wow, we can't have a girl being used by Light. Feminists would be mad. Let's have her tell Kira what to do. I don't know I think feminists would be mad regardless, because it basically makes Mia seem like this total cunt. Like, just a terrible girl. What do you think of all the gore? I thought it was okay. I liked the fact that they were willing to push the envelope with the gore. If only they did it more in the movie, I might have liked that. I can't wait for people to watch this video and see me so excited at the beginning, only to slowly get more and more sad, or to see me descent into madness, basically. Explain how you hate Mia. She's a psychopath, and you said you wanted Light to be a psychopath. So, explain how you hate Mia. She is a psychopath, and you said you wanted Light to be a psychopath. I didn't want Light to be a psychopath. Light in the original series was not a psychopath. He was a methodical, evil genius. He was a mastermind. A psychopath is somebody that is so out of touch and just goes around and starts killing people. Yes, Mia in this film is a psychopath. No doubt about that. But the thing is that the character is just not interesting. She's a try-hard, wannabe little edgelord. She's a try-hard wannabe edgelord, thinking that she's so cool. So why would a girl like Mia ever be a cheerleader, by the way? That made no sense. The cliche bullies, by the way, I didn't even talk about the cliche bullies. Wow, really? Cliche bullies. He was a psychopath, or he was a sociopath. Yes, he was a sociopath. Very much like he's Sherlock Holmes if he went down the right path or wrong path. If he went down the wrong path. Your character development is more interesting in this video than the movie. I'll take that. I'll take that. They treated L like that because they made him black. Got a feeling that maybe it were where it goes with most people. What? T. Thomas, that statement doesn't make any sense. Just finished watching the movie just now. What did you think about the story about Light's mother and L? I was actually okay with them killing Light's mother because it gave the character motivation to do the things that he would later do in the film. I like that they gave him this motivation. It made sense now why he wanted to be this purveyor of justice, you know. And I would also go as far to say that it would have made him a bit more sympathetic because you see where he's coming from. You know, he was affected by how bad the criminal system is and how justice was not being solved. Like, I thought it was freaking brilliant how the principal was scolding him for, doing other people's homeworks, helping them cheat basically, but totally ignored the bully beating up, the bully beating him up and doing all those heinous stuff, which, let's just be honest, if that does not happen in high school. If someone's bullying somebody, they'll point it out. I don't know why the movie did that. Oh no, I know why the movie did that, to kind of purvey the long-standing point about how justice is just never served. And again, that was great motivation for the character, and I liked the way they set that up. It made sense. How is the ending setting up something, or how is the ending setting something up? It's an ambiguous ending and sequel. How's it set? It's not setting up anything. It ends pretty clean cut. I mean, where are you gonna go from there? Who's gonna take the notebook? You know what would have been a more interesting story? Learning who else has had that notebook. And he said that someone else owned that before, and you've seen the names written in it. So what if the Death Note actually existed in the world before? And L actually was like, oh, there's been precedents of this book being used before. Look at here in the 1800s. Someone that they found out that somebody wrote a bunch of names and criminals just died out of nowhere. It would have been interesting if the Death Note actually existed throughout time, and then L would do some research and find out that the Death Note has been part of human history since the dawn of time. That would have been fascinating. But no, they don't. They totally waste that. Do you watch the Flick Pick on YouTube? I don't. I'm sure he's fine. I have nothing against the guy at all. So I agree. I thought the change with his mother was neat. Light is caught. Mia's dead. What else is there? No, don't worry. Cosmo is just trolling. Good to have you on, Cosmo. Hitler had the Hitler had the Death Note. Really? Although that would have been pretty interesting. That'd be pretty funny. What's your view on Watiti, or what's your view on when Watiti was trying to explain how Light was formed as a detective? He briefly mentioned it. I don't know how to feel about that either. I think it is kind of bullshit. But at that point, I didn't really care. Oh no, my mom texted me. Yes, be done soon. Okay. I hope Tokyo Ghoul is better than this. I don't know if I want to watch another live action adaptation of a popular anime anymore. I'm so burnt out to it now. Uh, 2017 has to be the worst year for anime movie adaptations or movie adaptations of popular anime. They fucked up Ghost in the Shell terribly, and then they screwed up Death Note. How could you guys? I feel you, bro. It's so disappointing over and over. Maybe the director didn't pay enough attention to the original Death Note. Possibly. And look, I don't have a problem with them changing some things. Like making Light a pussy, I'm fine with that. As long as you make him an interesting character to some degree. You know, maybe even see him grow throughout. I mean, Walter White was kind of a pussy at the beginning of, Breaking Bad, and then he turned into the badass Heisenberg, take the Breaking Bad approach instead of taking the Bonnie and Clyde true detective, or not true detective like the series, but like true crime detective of the 80s type thing. It really feels like an 80s crime thriller done poorly.
Did you pay the solid waste?
Yeah, I did.
It's in the car. That is it.
I have the receipt. I have the receipt. I'll give. Oh, actually, no. Right here, Mama. This is the receipt.
Yeah, because I'm
Okay. No, it's fine, Mama. Let's see. R.I.P. Death Note US movie. This sucks ass hell. Maybe the director didn't pay enough attention to the original Death Note. This isn't supposed to be the same plot, stupid. It's an American adaptation. And like I said, I wasn't asking for it to be just like the original. If they took some creative liberties, as long as they were done well and still kept the spirit of the original, I would have been fine. And it looked like that from the trailer. Like they kept the spirit of the original. It's a discount Magnum PI. Yes, it's definitely. Will we ever see Keanu Reeves as Spike Spiegel? You better pray we don't. If this is an example of things to come, I'm not. No. The problem is always trying to squeeze 4+ hours into a 2-hour movie. Agreed. There's so much material that they had to crunch down, and it's just impossible. Unless you have an effective writer that knows how to condense all of these and make some compelling characters. But the problem is that we don't have that, apparently, in Hollywood. Do you have the receipt for the time you wasted watching the movie? No. My grandma was asking me if I had the receipt because I had to make a payment for the waste disposal here in Guam. So American adaptation. It just needed to have a chess match between L and Light. And guess what? We did it. Literally what made Death Note amazing. That's what I'm saying, Steeler. And the fact that the movie had the audacity to treat its audience like they're fucking idiots by having L literally say, I don't do checks. I only do checkmates. Fuck you, movie. Don't tell me this is a chess game. Show it. You're a visual fucking medium. Was there ever a moment in the original Death Note where the two characters are like, this is like a chess game. I'm going to checkmate you. Oh, rook to e5. No, there's never a moment like that. Their action spoke for itself of how they played the game, as if it was one elaborate chess match between Light and L. We got it from the context of the anime. In this film, it had to be spelled out for us because we're so stupid. Americans are so stupid. You need a hand. Just here, spoon feed us all the information because we can't do it ourselves. You need to spell it all out. Hand feed me like I'm a child. God, you didn't have to say that. You thought it was spiffy. You thought it was clever. It wasn't. It was none of the above. It was pandering and it was insulting. All right, so I'm going to end this chat in 4 minutes. Overall, like I said, very disappointed. I'm going to be watching it again later tonight. Then I'm going to write my review and probably have it out by tomorrow. But I'm just so so let down. I'm so let down. But let me know what you guys thought about. Let me know what you guys thought about this live stream. Did you enjoy the live stream? Did you enjoy seeing me just lose my shit as the movie went on? And stay tuned. I'm working on more videos as promised. Anybody else have anything to say in the last 3 minutes? The director on Twitter is calling everyone a hater. Amazing. You take someone else's idea, ruin it, then shit on the fans. Yeah, that's so weird. You know what? You know what I'm gonna do? When I release my review, I'm going to tweet directly at Adam Wingard. I'm gonna say, here is my thoughts on your movie and how it epically failed. Thank you so much. In fact, somebody tweet him this video. Please, somebody tweet him this video. Please, somebody tweet this video to him. Girl boner for L. That's it. Well, L is a handsome man. FMA live action movie this winter? Please no. Please no. I enjoyed your character development. The movie did that right at least. What? I guess you're making the joke about. Do it, man. He's getting slammed. I love the Tony arc. He went from happy to psychotic in a matter of minutes. He's not gonna watch. Hey, he might watch. Did anyone expect this film to be good? I did. I expected this film to be good. I was giving it hope. I was giving it a chance. It fits right. I should have saw this coming. Because guess what? Guess what month it is? I don't even need to say it. You all know what month this is. That should have been the clear sign right from the get-go. Because nothing in August could ever truly be good. I give this video 10 disappointed Tonys out of 10. Say what you will about Ghost in the Shell, at least it had the modicum of passion. No. Believe it or not, Bash, this movie's better than Ghost in the Shell. Because Ghost in the Shell was trying to be so much like the original and completely took a shit on it and insulted its fans and put hacks and idiots in control of that source material. Here, they were trying to do something different, and at first it seemed very promising, but it slowly fell into itself and just was destroyed. It fell apart at the seams. The stream was great. Your arc was fantastic. If you're seeing this Black Critic Guy, I meant to say that sometimes with black characters placed in well-known roles given to white roles more harshly. All right, so I'm ending this chat now. Thank you guys for watching. I appreciate it. And as always, guys, if you'd like to see more videos of this channel, be a part of the Black Critic Group, please hit the subscribe button below. Like this video if you really enjoyed it. And I'm Tony II, as the Black Critic Guy. Till then, peace, YouTube.